And as we are going, thank you for joining. This is now, I think, session eight of our Power of Infinite Purple sessions. So thank you all. You are all in for what I think is going to be a pretty awesome treat today. What was released this last week with my visit with Quan Yin and the expansion of what we're doing. It has been very, very, very powerful, and I am just like super excited to share it with you all. So there's that's going to be a good focus of that is doing that training a little bit and showing that method. But then we'll go into the healing, and it really actually helps uh, supercharge the healing and frees us from draining our personal energy because we're constantly replenishing it with this what we're calling the infinite purple spark. So with that said, I do want to open it up first, like we like to do, and share kind of some of our potential, potentially share any of our experiences over the last week with our meditations and this purple energy. And I think Kim already stated she had a cool story, so I'm excited.
Mine is more related to the purple energy. So I have been putting off going to get some shoes for some time now, and I finally decided, you know what? I deserve some new shoes. And I went to the store, and it's something I only buy once every couple of years because they're pricey. And I looked in, immediately the guy's like, "What can I help you with?" And he looks at the ones I'm wearing. I want something comparable. And he says, "Well, you have these three choices." And before I could um, get too far into it, I said, "Now, I don't like anything too bright because they get dirty too fast. And I don't like anything too dark because I'm just not into it. What do you got?" And he shows me these three choices are related to what you have now. And there was pink, like a dark gray, and purple. And then I was looking at the purple one. I'm like, I mean, I'm not a purple girl as far as wearing the color, And I was hesitant. I was like, I don't know. And so I started asking some questions, and he's like, well, let me show you. The purple one's the only now they're hiking tennis shoes, okay? The purple one is the only one that is waterproof. And I'm like, okay, give me the purple one. So I now own a brand new pair of purple tennis shoes.
I love it. I love it. I always say the purple energy is guiding me. I ask it to guide me. It gave you the best shoes for the option. And yay. Oh, anybody else? That was really cool. I just love how this purple energy shows up in our lives once we start harvesting and working with it. Like how incredible it is and how just apparent it is. And as I've said in previous sessions, like purple was never a color like a standout color to me. I didn't even think that there was a lot of purple in the world. Like it's not something that I was like, oh, purple everywhere we go. But since we've started this, I see it everywhere. I just posted, I went out to the arboretum and on my lunch the other day, and there's 15 different flowers blooming in the middle of December that are all purple, and it's like, and the lavender that's blooming right now out there is just this incredibly just deepest, beautiful purple I've never seen such lush lavender plants as I do on the campus there. And it's amazing. And my buddy that I've been doing some of this stuff with that works with me, he goes, I don't get it. He goes, I go out and I'm looking for purple and I don't see it. And the moment I go out with you within minutes, we're seeing purple everywhere we turn around. So I just told him, well, you gotta start accepting it and letting it in, and it'll show up to you all over the place, just like it does to me. Uh, so, uh, so we have a comment from Tina. What is the definition of purple for this group? Is it as it relates to Saint Germain? So we'll go a little into the history of how this came about. Like these sessions originally started as Power of Eight, which from Lynn McTaggart, and the Power of focused group meditations for healing. During that, I got a visit with Saint Germain, and he introduced this purple energy, the purple flame, to me. and I started kind of utilizing it, and it just kind of morphed from there. Started kind of growing. We started all playing with it, and we really incorporated it, and I felt it really supercharged and just matched up perfectly. And these two things just started kind of marrying and just merging together and creating this wonderful, beautiful healing process that we were seeing really good results and just getting amazing feelings from. And then as we are going to discuss today, it's now morphed a little more thanks to Quan Yin and my visit with her and what she has shown me about, well, what I'm calling the infinite purple spark and how we can now create this energy so it is in an infinite loop so it never depletes itself. So we can share it as much as we want. We can do whatever we want. And then also anchoring ourselves into the earth in a broadcast point and becoming like these broadcast stations. So as we anchor in, we create this energy. We're going to plant the energy into the earth. We'll go through all this. Uh, and this creates these beacon points. We're going to do it from the highest peak that surrounds us. And then we have these beacon points. Now, these beacon points, since we're planting the energy, sharing it with Gaia, they become radiant energy that just broadcasts out. So now we have these broadcast stations at the highest peak in our area, broadcasting across the land, and then hopefully merging with other light workers and people that are doing and sharing this energy and now creating this network of this purple energy mesh, this radiant purple energy that can just cover the globe. The cool part about it is, as we go into it, I'll tell you, is now we've created this radiant energy that just is generating. We've created this beacon and we've planted this energy. We now can either sit with that energy, we can astral travel to get our go to our healing source. We can, which I ended up doing in one of these sessions since I've done it. I actually first session that it came to me, I sat there, I created this beacon. It'll go, uh, and then once I got into that spot and this was created and the beacon was there and this radiant ambient energy was there, it just broadcasted. It just started generating. So I didn't have to put the energy into it. I was able to allow it to broadcast out. And now I can go into my focus intention. I can focus my intention and my energy to the healing of Arlo or the healing of Kim or the healing of whoever was my focus. And then I also discovered, because of this infinite power or this infinite purple spark and constantly creating the energy within me, having these beacons, that I was able to split this energy and it did not deplete its power at all. So I was now focused intention to Arlo and sending focus intention healing to my friend's wife who just had thyroid surgery, which has she has been having a wonderful recovery from this. So it's a way to now, and once again, we are enhancing the practice. We are able to expand that focus without depleting the energy of what it is. And then when we get all of us and we start getting these larger groups together that are broadcasting this same energy, imagine the changes that we're going to be able to make. I mean, these small changes that we've done on just these smaller scales, once we start tying this in and it really gets into this rhythm, we are going to, there's no option but to change the world. This is going to change the vibration of the planet because it already is. And I'm going to say this disclaimer again. I am just the host right now of these meetings. I am just the one that this information was shared with. This is not me. This energy is not me. This energy is every single one of us. It lives within every single one of us and everybody that's in this call right now, that's listening to the replay, that's alive and sentient right now can harvest and utilize this energy. And that is where the power lies. And then when we get people to start realizing that, that's when the planet shifts. That's when ascension starts taking place. That's when consciousness starts to rise because now they are in tune with the vibration of this amazing, wonderful violet flame, this amazing energy of, a combination of Saint Germain and Quan Yin, you know. At first, it was wild because when Quan Yin came to visit me, I had never had an interaction with Quan Yin. I've heard of her, I've heard little bits of her, but I was like Quan Yin, and I was reaching out to Saint Germain because that's the Violet Flame. I'm like Saint Germain, and it just kept coming back. It's like no, Quan Yin wants to talk to you. I'm like, who's who's Quan Yin? Why does she want to talk to me? And then I went to that ceremony that I had, and she introduced this infinite purple spark to me, and she expanded on it, and she gave me so much. And I was like, well, I see now why you wanted to speak with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Goddess. Thank you for everything you provided. And it is since then, I have seen multiple different posts about Quan Yin uh, that intimately tie into exactly what we're doing. And I'm like, how has this never been in my view, in my attention? How have I not known? I pride on research. I've done lots of spiritual, esoteric research. How have these stories never come across until now? And now, as I've integrated the energy, they are just everywhere I go, and people are talking about Kuan Yin and things that symbolize Kuan Yin and the energy. It's making itself apparent, which is solidifying and validating in my reality everything I'm doing. And then so now that I can believe in it more, now that it's becoming this validated, it's also increasing in power and showing me more and more and more and leveling things up more and more and more. Yes, Kim, you have your hand raised.
Talking with what Quan Yin, what would you call, is that like an ancestor? I'm trying to catch up to where you're at because this is totally new concept for me. Even this Saint Germain, I've heard a little bit about, but yeah, help me level up a little bit. I'm not understanding
No, no,
where
that's
you're at.
glad you asked that question, and it's so funny you did because I actually just had a similar discussion with Shelly, who has joined us today, about how I can my brain processes things and I will just start spouting them out and just and I have to allow for people to process these things because they are pretty out there and pretty intense. But both Saint Germain and Kuan Yin are called ascended masters. Um, Kuan Yin, she is the mother of gods. She is referred to at times. She is represents compassion. Part of her story is that she passed and she was offered into the gates of the next realm. And she said, no, I am going to stay behind because I can still hear the cries of the world. And I need to help heal the cries of the world. So she sacrificed her nirvana to help save the rest of humanity because she could still hear their wails and the ears. So she's depicted with having multiple ears because she can hear all and hear everything and hear all the sorrow. And she's that compassionate soul. And so where this comes in and how it ties in is she transmutes that energy. That is one of her powers. Is she brings it in, she's got that compassion, she allows it, she absorbs that energy, and then she transmutes it utilizing what do you know? Violet energy, violet flame, purple energy, which came to me and as all her stories started coming through, and then and then uses that, heals it, and then brings that energy and gives that energy back to that person to effectively help heal them. So when we strip religion out and utilize ascended masters and these terminologies, you have many, many, many that have been confused or are wrapped up into religion. Uh, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, was actually considered a ascended master. Buddha is ascended master. These are the types, these type of deities, these type of entities that their purest form is ascended master. Their purest teachings are ascended masters. And if you really actually study every one of their teachings and the cores and the core values of every one of their teachings, they are exactly the same. There is no difference in the message. The message gets twisted and sorry for lack of a better word for anybody that's still religious dogma, but bastardized. It gets twisted and bastardized for manipulation purposes, for control. They change the way the teachings were because they don't want us to discover the power we hold within us. Because if we know how powerful we are, they can no longer control, manipulate, and hurt us in a way. So that we regain our sovereignty and we regain our purpose. We complete ourselves. We reconnect to our higher selves, our souls, and we become complete. Our mind, body, and soul start to work in unison, start to flow, start to reward us, We start seeing synchronicities wherever we go with these purples, these energy, these numbers, where we things, and we start listening more to them. We start sitting and listening to our soul more. And then once our soul and once the universe knows we're listening to it, the whispers get louder and louder and louder, and the guidance gets better and better and better because it's like, okay, I now have your attention now. You're responding to this. And this is a very, very powerful tool in manifestations because a lot of times people focus on what they don't want or the opposite. I wish I wasn't sick. Sick? Okay, I hear you're sick. More sickness. You're focusing on sickness. Here's more sickness in your life. No, I want to be focused on the positives. This also came up in um, our Kabbalion studies, how emotions and all these things are just varying levels of vibration of the same energy. Hate and love are the same energy, just at different vibrations. So when you focus on
So
that and you're like, I'm going to bring this up, I'm going to bring this, and I'm going to focus on this higher vibration. And what happens when you hit a tuning fork next to another tuning fork? If you hit this tuning fork and you get them close enough together, they start resonating. And this one that you haven't hit starts resonating at that same pitch, that same vibration. This is exactly the same theory. Shelley, you have your hands up.
Thank you for inviting me, and it was a good conversation. And I want to say hello to Devora. But you're talking
hi,
about
Shelley.
synchron. Hi, and Ron's here, Ron Larson. So synchronicities and um, resonating with people, and I'm just really seeking for Vibe Tribe too. But in my local place, I went to this gas station. It's called Common Sense, which we need more of in America. Um, Common Sense. But there's a woman there that was making a conversation with me, and then the lady that was actually working at the desk, she was trying to get me to go to a Bible study, and I was like, no, I'd rather not argue scripture. But the other lady, and she heard me say that, we walk out together. She's telling me her life story. I'm going, okay. And then she says something about that her ex-husband was into Hindu, right? And I was like, oh, isn't that interesting? Because she was like complaining about all these Christians, how they're trying to save her, and you shouldn't be listening to that. And I was just like laughing. Going, oh my gosh, this is so funny. So the whole point was the resonance, right? Like the other person I probably would have been attracted to a few years ago when I was in Christianity, but now this lady, she was actually talking about cigarettes and nicotine and like, and so I was more interested in her, but it was, I think that maybe Quan Yin, maybe, and as I'm driving away, you'll love this, Devora. I get in the car because he's like, oh, have a great day. Merry Christmas, whatever. I get in the car, I'm driving down the road. In our state, we have license plates. That's 69, yay, and Nebraska, and it said B121. So one of the license plates said 69 B121. Let me back up. My thought was right when I was going down the street was that lady is Hindu. And then I heard myself higher self say I resonate more with that. And then I saw that stand, this, the B121, and I just the resonate and just like the now moment. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So thank you for letting us hang out with you. So
Thank you for sharing. That was I thought a very great representation of how vibration and resonance works. And as we change our vibration, you notice the people that we hang out with or want to associate with change. They it's kind of funny if you look or you understand or not understand researched ascension at all. One of the theories of ascension is those that ascend are going to go to a different plane or whatever. They're not going to go to a different plane. They're going to a different vibration. And oh, well, if we ascend, are we going to lose all our friends and family that don't ascend? No, you're not going to lose any of them. You're all going to be existing on the same plane of existence. You'll just be at a different vibration. To whereas you kind of experience, Shelley, well, I don't really resonate. Maybe our conversations don't flow like they used to. You're not going to dislike that person. Maybe you're not going to stop loving that person. In fact, you should do the opposite. You should continue to love them and love them even more and just continue to share that love because that's, again, what changes the world. Do not focus on those negative, lower energies. Focus on the higher vibrational energies. So that's what resonates out and that's what matches back to you. Your inner world creates your outer world. resonance? Do we see how these are all starting to connect? Are we starting to put the dots together and see, wait. When we start doing this, and I would love, like Kim, I think you asked in context, what would be something that we would like to tie or utilize scientific study for, or do some scientific research? Right here, this resonance and how resonance can change and how our vibration can change. That would be I think, a wonderful scientific study to really get into. And once again, this is why I love Joe Dispenza's books and Becoming Supernatural. This is why I love The Power of Eight by Linda McTaggart. And I got so sucked into it because they utilize scientific and medical research to prove and validate that these studies, look, for skeptics, here is the research. You guys want research? Here it is. Here is the proof. The proof is in the pudding. I brought the checks. I brought the receipts.
Add biology of belief to your reading list because you'll enjoy
Biology
it.
of, biology of belief. I'm marking that down now.
Yeah, and it definitely addresses some of what you just talked about with the resonance.
Thank you. Thank you. That is awesome. I have that marked. Okay. I do want to leave it just in case anybody has anything else they would like to add before we get into the meditation. Okay. So for those of the participated already, we're going to be a little different in how the meditation goes because I'm going to use it's going to be longer, obviously, but I'm going to do a guided part because I have to do this guided part to teach this new expansion of it to show what Quan Yin and to transfer this energy and this information over to all of you. So we'll start with a little guided to introduce us to the concept, get us all into that wavelength, and then we'll go into our normal 8 minutes power of eight focused healing. I personally myself, and this is where it's being kind of guided to me and where I'm still feeling because I don't feel that this healing is complete, but I'm always open. I would like to continue on with what we're doing with Arlo and his healing. I think the healing that is needed is at such a high level that the more sessions we can do, the better it is. And so I would love for all of us to get onto this new expanded pack or this new, supercharged energy and get in this powerful, this infinite purple spark, and then sending that to Arlo and just seeing like, okay, let's observe this and just start hearing the stories because we've already heard some really cool stuff and we've healed some other things. So this is just very, very exciting for me. So let us begin. Let us get into our comfortable state. Let's get into make sure we're supported, make sure we're loose and into an undistracted state. Uh, and then, so first thing we are going to do, we can close our eyes and then just allow, or if you haven't created this purple energy within, first thing you do is just think about whatever it is that makes your heart sing, whatever just brings you the greatest joy you've experienced, and start to feel that feeling. Allow that feeling to start to grow within your chest. And as it grows, it starts to kind of develop this purple hue, and it just continues to grow as this energy mass within the core of our chest, within our heart center, and just keep feeling that and allow this feeling of just this good feeling, this joy to just overcome and overtake us. And then as we're doing that and allowing that to expand, now we're going to take this and we're going to start envisioning it as this infinity symbol, but vertical. So almost like an eight. So you have this vertical infinity symbol at the heart center. And then as we breathe in, allow it to expand out. And as it expands out from the heart, it starts to wrap up. So the top loop wraps around the throat chakra, the bottom loop wraps around the solar plexus chakra, and then breathe and allow that energy and to just flow through the infinity symbol. And then breathe in again and envision that infinity symbol expanding further out. This time the top goes up above and through our third eye chakra, and the bottom one goes down through the sacral chakra. And allow that energy to just flow through, envision it flowing up through the arc and then down through the lower arc. And then we breathe in again, and now we're going to expand it out to every one of our seven internal chakras. So it goes up to the crown at the top loop and down to our root at the bottom loop. And then we're just going to sit and allow this energy to just kind of take over within us. And as we breathe in, we're going to follow the energy up, kind of like the right side of the loop of the infinity symbol as it goes up, and then continue to breathe in. It's going to come up over the crown chakra, and as soon as it comes down, it starts to loop back down. We exhale and allow it to just sink down and flow down through the chakras, all the way down as we exhale, down into the root, and then as it curves down to the root, begin the inhale again. So inhaling, it's climbing up the infinity symbol until it comes up, loops through, goes over our crown chakra, and then as we exhale, it comes down through into the root. And we're just going to allow that to kind of generate. Let's play with that for a little bit. Allow the flow to just go unblocked, unrestricted. Just allow it to do what it needs to do. Envisioning that purple energy just flowing through it continuously, feeding into itself. So now it has this endless, abundant supply of this purple energy within us. And as long as this infinity symbol is intact, this infinity symbol is now supplying us with this infinite purple spark within us. And the great thing is this cannot be depleted. It is infinite. So we can share it as much as we want to. And that's what we want to do from here on out, is share it with everything we interact with, not just human and sentient beings, but everything we interact with. Just show appreciation and gratitude for it. Walking past trees, breathing in, taking the energy of the tree, and as we exhale, exhaling back out this purple energy, exhaling this purple energy down through the roots in our feet into the mycelium network of the trees and the plant life as we walk around. And as we breathe in, we're breathing in their energy and exchanging this purple energy with them. Now that purple energy can just resonate out from them. It's broadcasting out. So now let's take and just kind of let's do like three. Actually, we'll do eight in the spirit of the power of eight and where this originated from. Let's do 8 breaths. We're going to follow 8 breaths. So on the in breath, we follow it up the infinity symbol, up over the crown, and then exhale down. Let's do this 8 times. Inhale up, allowing it to flow. And as it flows, it just releases any tension within the body, any stress gets caught up in this infinite loop of purple energy and gets transmuted into love, into compassion, into unity. And it's flowing down again as you exhale, looping through all the chakras, invigorating and charging and cleansing them as it passes up, and exhale back down, allowing that energy to come through, allowing it to fill our entire essence, not just our body, but our entire aura, our entire being, our entire energetic field is just now glowing and radiating with this beautiful purple energy. Now that we have this energy, we have this infinite spark, we have an unlimited supply of this energy, so we should not even worry about how much we share it. Now we're going to take a little journey, and we're going to go to the highest point within our region, within our area, whether it's a mountain, hopefully it's a mountain. Let's go to a mountain so it's continuing to be that natural, uh, eco-friendly, that energy of Gaia. So climb to the highest mountain peak within your region. And then once you're at the top and you're at the very, very peak of this mountain, sit down in the lotus position and just sit again and reconnect into that infinite purple spark we've created. Check in with it. It's still there. It's still going. It's still flowing. It's infinite. It's never ending. And we're going to Breathe. And as we breathe in, we're going to build the energy up and then exhale. And as we exhale, I want us to release from the base of our feet, the base of our spine, release just little roots. And we don't have to do anything. We just have to allow them to release and allow them to kind of just uncurl and just start to just dig and move and reach deep into the earth, deep, deep down into the center and to the root of this mountain that we're in. So we're highly and deeply, deeply rooted into the earth. And now we're exchanging this purple energy through our root system into the mountain, creating this stationary point, this beacon of sorts, where our energy has now become rooted. And from this now, we have our rooted place that we can now broadcast. This is what I'm going to call our broadcast point, where we can broadcast out this purple energy, where we can expand it as far as the eye and the mind can see and envision. So as we exhale, we just allow it to radiate out from our bodies, almost like we're a radio tower, just broadcasting out the signal, broadcasting out the vibration. And then we just sit. And as we inhale, we're breathing in, exchanging energy with the earth, allowing the energy to rise up that infinity symbol, rise up the spine, up to the crown. And then as we exhale, we relax, release, expand outward, broadcast this symbol. From this point now, we have now created a beacon. Since we have planted this energy in and rooted, we have a beacon. So what we now want to do is I want to reach in with our energetic body, reach deep into our heart center and grab a chunk of this purple energy from our heart center. Don't worry about it because it's going to get replenished by our infinite purple spark. And then as we have this chunk of energy, I want us to dig a little hole right in front of our legs, just into the ground, and plant this core of purple energy into the ground. So now this piece of us, this purple energy is always there. Whether we are there now, is always there, broadcasting out this vibration. So now we can turn our attention to focused, intentional healing. We can astral travel to meet those that we need to heal with and be there in person with them and enhance the experience because now we know we can share as abundantly as we want because it always is continually being replenished. So from now, we are going to go into our 8-minute healing focus meditation. Through this focus meditation, we are going to send healing, playful energy to Devorah's grandson, Arlo, in Oregon. It is very important that this energy remain playful because it needs to uplift the spirit. It needs to remind him that he can still play and that he still has a wonderful, beautiful future of wonderful, beautiful experiences waiting for him. I will now start the sounds of our didgeridoo, of our tribal music, so we can get in that trance state. And feel free to let go because I'm starting an 8-minute timer now, so drift off as far as you need to go. See you on the other side. Oops. It helps to share my screen. Just keep in that Zen state. Keep broadcasting out that energy. It's okay. Check in, make sure your infinite purple spark is flowing. And now that we're sharing, let's get back to the music. Wow, wow, wow. Whoa, wow. Ooh, I think I need a second. Wow. Uh, that was intense. I'm just gonna start off with that. Um, so for me, what I saw was all of us at our beacons, at our broadcast points, and all there and just glowing, radiating out this purple energy. And from there, uh, like our soul, like our light bodies, just kind of elevated, just rose up from our bodies and just elevated up, like just like lifting, like the soul's almost leaving the body in a way, but just lifting up. And we started forming this circle, and then we were in Arlo's room, and we were all surrounding Arlo, and we just started beaming out this purple energy. And I'm thinking, okay, it's going to direct into Arlo. This, we're going to do healing. We're going healing. This is where we're going. But no, the energy then created a manifestation of Quan Yin in front of Arlo. So Arlo is now sitting up on his bed. And as we're continually feeding this energy and generating, Quan Yin is now starting to dance and flow, and her robes are going. And as her robes flow around, they turn into dragons, and the dragons entertain Arlo very, very much. He gets a big kick out of the dragons. Now these dragons are swirling around, and as she dances and the robes just go, the dragons are swirling around, creating all this radiant purple energy all around Arlo, all around the room. So it's healing him, but he doesn't even notice the healing because he's so entertained by the dragons. So the dragons are entertaining him as Kuan Yin is ingesting this healing energy within him and dancing and just going. And we're sitting there, and I don't even know if he notices us because we're just these light bodies, and so it's almost like we're projecting, and we're like projectors projecting out to the screen, and all of them form together, and it's creating the embodiment of Kuan Yin to dance, to heal, and to entertain him with the show. And then that silly little timer went off, and I got sucked back to my beacon point and regrounded my energy and came back to share that. Wow. So
That's pretty
leaving.
crazy because I just today asked my son, I said, Can I bring him a present? Because normally we can't take gifts and stuff to the hospital, there's no room. And he said, Yeah, you could bring him something small, Mom. And I said, Do you have any suggestions? And he said, Anything that has to do with dragons. Yeah, yeah.
Whoa,
He
whoa,
said,
whoa,
That's
whoa.
all he's interested
Yeah,
in these days is dragons.
yeah. Does Quan
Ah,
Yin work with the dragons? Because I saw a dragon too when we
she
were with.
can, she can, she
It was
invokes the dragon
definitely a
spirit.
dragon.
She's
I didn't see that.
also, it's also related. She helps in what she did with me is that Kundalini energy. And that's kind of what I was feeling, that Kundalini, the power of that Kundalini energy and those dragons and those twin dragons swirling and dancing around and raising up the energy and completely raising the vibration around Arlo. We were talking
Yeah.
resonance earlier, so it's changing the vibration of his room and the whole essence and the whole surroundings around Arlo, so that he has that resonant vibration coming up. Wowzers.
What I
Wow.
saw was like a like dark purpley black dragon almost, and it like had like white around him, and then almost like he had like gold eyes, and he's just like just running around, dancing around and stuff. So I could see the dragon too, or mine anyways.
Yes, and Tina posted a comment. Is she had her understanding is we all have dragons and they are spirit guides. We all do have dragons. There's actually even theories about the return of the dragons, and people, if you watch the clouds, you can sometimes see the dragons within the clouds, or
Mhm,
listen to their roars and hear the rising of the dragons and the return of the dragons and the return of the mystical.
mhm.
Ooh, I'm still reeling from because that was just really, really a powerful session for me. Um, Anybody else have anything? I'd love to hear everybody else's.
I
Uh,
was I was kind of fascinated that because I was in the room and I saw everybody in the room with him also. And I said to him, Arlo, do you want to go play? And he's like, yeah, Grandma. And I said, what do you want to do? And he said he wanted to play soccer. Nobody in my family plays soccer, so I thought that was funny. But I was like, okay. And so then he was just running on this soccer field and chasing a soccer ball and kicking it and everything. And he made a goal and he was jumping up and down, so happy and excited. And then he just fell on the ground, laughing and laughing and laughing. And I said, do you want to keep playing soccer? And he said, no, I want to go swimming. And I said, okay, where do you want to go swimming? And there's this place where I live in the mountains, and the river runs through here, and there's a place where the kids all go and they jump off this really high rock outcropping into the river, which every parent cringes when they know their kid's gone there because it's probably not very safe. And but anyway, see, that's where he wanted to go, and I said, okay, let's go down to, I forget what it's called, but I said, let's go down there. So we go down to the rock cropping and I'm holding his hand and he goes, come on, Grandma, jump with me. And I jump off which I would never do in the natural. I jump off this rock cropping and go flying through the air, holding his hand into the water. And as I hit the water, it dawned on me, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just jumped into this river. Because at this point in my life, that's just something that is probably not something I would think to do. I think Shelley's the only one. Maybe I don't think anybody in this group knows this, but Shelley knows it from another group I'm in. I'm blind, and so jumping off a cliff into water when you're a blind person is not something that you normally do. And yet I did. I jumped into the water without hesitation with him, and when we came up out of the water, it struck me that Arlo's healing and my healing were connected. So I'm excited about that.
Powerful. Wow.
Yeah.
Very,
Lovely.
Because I would really like to see what all you people look like.
hmm. Yeah, that was a really powerful share. Thank you.
Devora, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What was your mom's name?
Betty
Betty. Okay. Did she pass a long time ago?
in 2008.
Okay. I had a very clear impression that your ancestors, especially from your mother's line, were with him to assist in his healing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be awesome.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Tony Ann. I love how you bring your ancestors in and tie that in because it just, again, expands. Ooh.
Well, it's interesting to me too, the tie-in with my mother's side, because the blindness that I have is a genetic condition, and my mother had it, and my grandmother had it, and my great-grandmother had it. And so all these women that are participating in Arlo's healing and are somehow connected to participating in my healing too. It's just interesting that it's that whole genealogy.
I'm gonna go on a little sidetrack here just because it brought up a thing I've been finding interesting. It came through with me and Shelley's conversation we had earlier. And then you brought up how there's a lot of feminine energies and it just looking at this Zoom room, there's a lot of feminine energies here. And I find it interesting that there is, I mean, it's obvious the divine feminine is rising because there's feminine that feminine energy really seems to be awakening right now. And I see more of that feminine archetype than I do of the masculine archetype. It is very, very hard for me to find people, males, masculine, feminine, or masculine energies that are at these levels or understandings, whereas all of the feminine energies seems to really be rising up. So way to go, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing because it's awesome. And I am grateful for all of you and appreciate all of you. But if you do, I know Ron, I think, is hiding off camera, but he is here. So we do have a little other male energy in here.
Yep, he's hiding off camera, so I agree. But thank you for standing up in your own energies and being whole to be a pioneer and what we're doing. So this is great. Love this. And I had a purple dragon too. I brought my 3D purple dragon out and set it in front of my rocks here with us. So it's kind of funny. We were talking about dragons
So you just
again.
you just exemplified another really cool phenomenon that happens in these sessions is that we often all kind of experience very similar visions, even though we don't even like start off on it. We'll go and like, oh my gosh, yeah, I saw us in a drum circle. Oh, I saw the dragons. Oh, I saw the clouds moving this way, and it's like there's just no way. It's not like we're collaborating and working behind the scenes and sharing these stories. So it's like, and they all have their own twist on it. But if you're listening, you're like, oh my gosh, that is almost that's very similar to what I experienced. And then obviously today's theme was dragons, so yay, dragon energy. Is there anybody else that I don't know. I feel like Stacy is really wanting to speak almost, but we almost have to draw it out of her. She's
I don't really have anything to say today, really. I've been quiet all day.
mm. So
But I
then,
can
Yeah.
relate to the dragons. I've been relating to that. That's been like a theme for the past week for me in general.
well, one of my actual spirit animals, not just like my I do have I was born in the year of the double dragon, 1976. So I have a double dragon. My main one, as many of you that do know me, is the panda. And then I also have some phoenix energy that associates and hangs out with me. And that's through because I've been through multiple rebirths. I don't suggest them, but they also are very, I mean, once you get through them, they're beneficial. And I think we all probably are going to have to go through one at least once.
Hmm. Devora, is the hospital on a river where Arlo is? Because maybe she's stepped away. Um,
It is. I will
it
answer that.
is
It is.
because
It just
I
meets at
saw.
the two rivers, I think is what she said.
Oh my God, I felt the energy of the water, and I saw as we were all going like flying there. Basically, our energies were converging on the hospital. The river was running purple. It was purple. It was so cool. And it felt like the healing energy of that water was just intense. And I I feel people. I feel physical injuries that people had. And I got sharp pains in my gut. And so like I just focused on him and sent healing energy directly to that spot. I could totally feel and I felt it soften. So that was really beautiful. Yeah, and I felt all of us there too. So thank you for sharing, everybody. Or thank you for joining to do this. It's amazing.
Yeah, we have a really good group, and I really enjoyed. I do have to ask, since it's the new part of it, what is everybody, if nobody else has a share, what was everybody's feel about the expansion of this infinite purple spark and creating that and then creating the beacon?
I'll share real
Shelley?
quick before.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think Shelley had her hand raised. I do want to.
You just said you said you had if you anybody wanted to share again, but I pull oracle cards. And today before we started, I was like, well, I'm just gonna grab the dragons, and I pulled them over because Quan Yin. I pulled two silver card dragon cards. I wish I could see that better.
I can
I'm
see
just
him
gonna
somewhat.
oh silver. Yeah, so cool. And so one is silver dragon. It says illuminates your potential with higher light, access untapped resources, look into your soul, excuse me, and see higher possibilities. So the silver dragon's got a lot of dark blue in it and then a golden key. And then this other one is a silver lunar dragon, which is so funny. Bathes you in the divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your causal chakra. Wish my lighting was a little better for you, but it's yeah, again, silver with the moon. So I could go in depth more with that, but the silver dragons who we got here. Pretty exciting. Yep, divine feminine. Yep.
So many synchronicities. It's just I just have to laugh every time now. Every time I see synchronicity, every time I see purple, I literally start just cracking up, just start laughing out loud because I'm like, so thank you. Thank you. And then I look up to the skies and I say, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for being there for me. It's awesome. So do you,
Arlo's dad just popped in for a second.
oh,
I had to pop off there for a second, but I told him what we were doing, and he just said, "Thank you so much, guys. It's makes a difference." Thank you.
Oh,
that's
You're welcome.
if
love
that's all
you.
we can
I'm
do
honored.
to make that difference, that is my goal. That is my hope with this is to just make
Yeah.
one difference. We make one difference that changes one person's life for the better. And that's it enough for me. But we all know it doesn't stop there because once you change one person's life, that person's going to go out and start changing other people's lives. They're going to become a testament to what's going on here, and they're going to broadcast even further. They're going to broadcast that energy. So I love everyone that I love new joins. I love the new energy being ingested in here. I love the shares. I love everything about this. So grateful for all of this. But I do, once again, let's go back. I have to understand, see if this is something that's as powerful for everyone else. But what about this infinite purple spark? What about these beacons? How did we resonate with that? How did that feel? Did that do anything for anybody?
I liked the visualization part, and what I was going to share a minute ago was I also saw a purple river. That was before we actually did the music part. Um, so the area that I live in is close to the Mississippi, and there's a road that is fondly referred to as the River Road. And there's bluffs overseeing the river. And so when you said, go to that high place, that's where I went. And it's also one of my favorite hiking spots. Um, and um, while I was sitting there and, you were going through all the steps and everything, um, I looked out and first it was the skyline was purple like a sunset, and then the water turned purple.
Mhm.
So that was my similarity. And as far as the actual meditation piece, lots of play happening. The only similarity that was close to Dragon would be um, he and I sitting, and it started out being like a sand castle, and then it was a mud castle basically, and like a moat and the fence and the whole thing. So, like, well, castles and dragons kind of go together, but that was probably about the only similarity there. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed the visualization part, and it was helpful for me.
So powerful thing that moving forward is now we know the importance of breath work and how powerful most of us, if not, look into breath work, reach out to me, let's talk breath work. I'll do that another time. But breath work is super important, especially for regulating our emotions and our anxiety and different things like that. So now that we're aware of this infinite purple spark, now we're aware of how it can travel through our chakras, walking through the day, just start taking moments to I'm going to take a second to breathe and just breathe in and reassociate, refeel this infinite purple spark within me. I'm doing it right now. And it's like, I can just feel the energy flowing through me. And as I stated at the beginning, the more we practice these things, the more attention we start giving these things, the stronger it's going to become. And it's working wonders with me. It's really amazing. So I'm really excited to see if we start, checking in and doing this and leveraging this, like how this plays out for all of you. Did you, Tina, I know you said you didn't know how to raise your hand, but do you want to speak out loud on what you commented on, or do you want us to share it for you?
Uh, I can share. I just didn't know. I don't know how to raise my hand on this app, on my Mac. So do you just do that? Because there was
There,
just like
if
a little.
you bring up like at the bottom, there should be like a react button.
I see it.
And then if you click on react, like click on the heart, there's a raise hand in there that you can hit.
Oh,
Yay!
there it is.
So my side job is
Okay.
is I do IT tech support. So
Oh, you do. Thank
my
you.
main
Well,
job is this right here, doing this magic.
yeah, this is the magic. This
Yeah.
is definitely the magic. I just so the purple flame was that's the whole reason why I ever even started this whole spiritual journey was the purple flame, and Saint Germain was he was the first one to step forward, and he's just all about love and then creating. He's about creating things, so I just really that's what drew me to this group. So I kind of just wanted to like share that. So I don't think I've spoken before, and I didn't want everyone to think like, I do have a voice over here, but you guys are very tied in. I've noticed a couple of times that I've joined your group, you guys are all kind of like synced up. It's pretty cool to see as far as your group, and I really like love that about you guys. I personally, I sent fairies to Arlo. I'm not linked up quite with y'all, but I just sent him some laughter from the fairies, and that kind of thing, just because they do raise the vibration and give you kind of like a fun side. I mean, I know they do for me anyway. Kind of give me the giggles whenever I channel that. So, but I really appreciate the opportunity to be a part of your guys' group, and that the infinity symbol, adding that to the violet flame, that's that's like mind blowing. It like really I don't know, my whole body was full. So with the flame, usually it's just kind of like right in front of me, it's like right here, you know. But this like went. I mean, I could feel it from my crown to my root, and that was like pretty powerful. I thought so. Amazing, amazing, Bryce. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly how I experienced it too. As initially was a smaller, the violet flame just kind of at that
Yeah,
heart core, and now it's like whoosh, expanded out.
yeah,
And as Tony Ann said, she didn't see dragons either. So it's not that we always see the same thing. There's just sometimes similarities. And you did exactly what you should do, sharing what you thought was going to uplift the vibration and sending joy to him. Thank you.
Hey, I could
Ron.
say
Oh,
something. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
cutting
no,
off.
I saw that Ron's hand's been raised. I didn't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was going to say, I read Kim's comment here. She said, me and Nora started out flying like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. Yes.
Fairies.
Well, yeah, fairies, but okay, but when I met Arlo, he wanted to shapeshift. And we shapeshifted into bats and we're flying. So we were both flying together. Yeah.
Mm,
So it was another instance of some synchronicity there.
mm, I like that. Ron?
Yeah, hi. Well, okay, Brian, yeah, it's really nice to meet you. It's really cool, man, because I really resonated when I saw it was just recently, and it was just like, oh, this guy knows the purple thing. I was like, yes, you know. But it brought me a lot of joy because I did participate with I know you had a video and it was an ascension. It was very beautiful meditation time and everything. And here's the beauty of it, right? This is what's beautiful. It's like maybe maybe like last year, I had a pretty I was dealing with an injury, and I had all the time in the world, for breathing, ascension, all the different things that all of us love. It was just like heaven on earth to be able to just have all the time in the world. But here's the beauty of it. I'm learning. I'm learning now this year where I made a decision. I'm like, okay, um, I've got to learn how to be able to multitask both, both, both these beyond words experiences that we have, like on the inside. And now I'm learning how to juggle it with the 3D, like with our literally our stuff every day. And I'm just, hey, I'm a work in progress. I'm just learning how to do both. But it's cool because after spending that much time in Ascension, now I can still like blend both. So I'm just gonna say when you guys did this, I was like, there's still busyness from the day and this and that and everything, but I've been kind of listening. So long story short, I did not get the chance tonight to just really dive in totally. But see, here's what's cool. This has all been coming up. Like this has all been coming up. Well, I should just say, just on my own awareness or my own understanding has been growing. My own understanding has been growing about like the ascended masters and the seven rays and how does that really relate? Because what a coincidence. We got seven chakras. All that stuff has been growing and understanding. So the cool thing is this, even though it's like wrapping up a busy day, slam dinner, don't chew, come on, we're going to do this thing with Brian, yay. And it's like, all of a sudden it's time to go. And I'm just like, I didn't want to disrupt the group. I was like, damn, I got to find me some meditation. This is like, no big deal. But here's the beauty of it. The reason why I believe one reason why all of our experiences can be so deeply personal, yet you have this overlap and you're like, how'd seven people just go do that? And it's all completely different, but yet totally the same. You know why? I believe it's our individual programming, our individual perceptions, but we're tapping into the same frequencies. And so what I was doing while Shelly's making dinner, we're covering like 30 different things that people do because we're so excited about the meeting. I'm like, I don't mean to relive it so hard, but it's so beautiful. And I'm just like, so I'm just like sitting there while we're in the kitchen, and I just be like, I'm just like beaming the purple. But see, here's the thing: it's a heart, it's a heart engage thing. Like when you find that sweet spot in your heart, it's just like boom. And I just like, I'm painting this whole town purple, yet doing no harm. Somehow that works, and boom. Now I'm like painting. But see, now the cool thing is, I wouldn't really understand that unless I had heard a few months ago. It was Geraldine Orozco. She's like, yes, now use the purple crown chakra with that light. And so then by the time I heard of you, Brian, I'm just like, yes, let's dive into this purple, man. Because um, man, something's waking up on the inside of me this year is this thing called the starry nature. There's a whole nother layer of our awareness. And all I got to do sometimes is shut my eyes and be like, okay, the blue lighters are here and Orion's tapping in and all this stuff. So I know one reason I'm so hyper right now is just pure, sincere joy because all of us are resonating and the love is where the action is. So I don't know nothing, but I really want to do some more cool stuff. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
I loved all of that, and I totally felt your joy. That I just it was like beaming out. It was so good, and I listened. Like the whole story was just like it brought me joy. It just brought me happiness. It was like yes, this is great. Great share. Oh, thank you. And that's one of the most. I think one of my favorite parts about all these journeys is when past realizations come into present moments and you get a deeper realization of it. And you're like, oh, or it comes full circle and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, and you reflect back on that and you're like, oh my gosh, this is all connect. What is going on? And then you can't deny it anymore because you're like, there's no way all this can be connected. There's no way that this could all be coordinated and just coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence at all. And there's no way it could be because there's no way to organize that. There's no way to do that unless it's magic, unless it's some kind of esoteric, something bigger than all of us. And that's what we're finding out. It's yes. Unveiled mysteries. I have not revealed unveiled mysteries, but it will now go on my list. So now we have biology of belief and unveiled mysteries that have both been revealed. I think there was another book that somebody said something about in the chat earlier.
Oh, Tony Ann said something about Walter
Oh,
Russell.
Walter Russell's quantum theory, which yes, Yes, I am glad that that actually came back in because quantum theory and how this quantum healing has been a very, very big theme, especially since Quan Yin's come in. Like that quantum aspect of it, and it's like this is the next level of healing, and this is being proven through the power of eight, through Joe Dispenza's becoming supernatural. Quantum healing can heal at a whole different, just amazing level, and it can heal things that science and medicine can't right now.
Biology belief gets into that too. It's yeah. So um what was the other Tina? What was the book that you mentioned? What's it about? I'm a book nut, so I I like learning about books.
Unveiled Mysteries. It's a book that's all about Saint Germain and when he reveals himself over out in Mount Shasta. It's sort of his portal. And I've spent some time there. And I live in Washington, but I used to live in California. But yeah, it's a really great read. It's just a story. It talks about his alchemy and what he stands for, and he really gives you instruction about cultivating the violet flame in your life, and it's a pretty powerful book. I mean, I love
So
it.
that's I'm sorry, I
He
didn't mean to
walks
cut you.
around with it all the time. Yeah, he walks around with the book. He's like, read the book, read the book. I'm like, okay, he's pretty like yeah.
That's an interesting synchronicity as well because I don't know if everybody in this group right now is on. Yeah, look at Maggie's over there. Woohoo! Is on the field Facebook group, but uh recently, maybe a few days ago, I posted that uh, we've been working on this big vision for a while, and I posted, okay, let's do like a retreat, and where are some ideas? And Brian suggested Mount Shasta, which I had never heard of before. And then I went and did some research on it and was like, oh, okay, this sounds pretty cool. And then in the meantime, I talked to another friend who's not part of this group, and she was sharing some stories with me about Mount Shasta. And then by the time I got back on Facebook, a couple days later, and I shared some more stuff, and then Maggie saw, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's on my bucket list. I want to go." And so now we're talking like, "Okay, how can we get this to happen?" And then you just brought up Saint Germain, so like, I'm really excited about the idea of going to Mount Shasta.
No,
And
it's
just the stories, and I just
huh.
keep hearing stuff, and I was like, "All right, bring it on."
It's magic. It's so magical. You'll see. It's a very special sort of place, and you'll feel it right away. Right away. It's
So
beautiful.
what's interesting too is since we've had our discussions about Mount Shasta, a Facebook group popped up called Mount Shasta Spiritual Community that I just joined and got accepted to today. And I'm going to make sure to send everyone in this group an invite to that community because yes.
Yeah, I actually joined that group recently myself. It seems there's
Well,
a lot of locals. It is a lot of locals, but
yes.
I just yeah, but I'm like drawn there. If I could live there, I would, but I have grandkids here, so.
So Tina, where do you live? Are you in
So I
California
live
then?
in Vancouver. I was in California, but I just recently moved here 2 years ago. Vancouver,
Vancouver,
Washington.
Washington? Vancouver, Washington? Oh yes,
Washington.
my uncle lives there, in Vancouver, Washington. So
Yeah.
that would be awesome. I would love to do Mount Shasta. That's definitely on my bucket list. But
That's is
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
If you're
I've been to retreats there. Yeah, it's beautiful.
if you
Well,
guys aren't
we're
on the
looking
field
for
group,
we're looking
yeah,
for a cool
sorry.
place to stay. Where should we
Yes, I was about to
stay?
say the same thing. Maybe that retreat center will, or not the retreat center, but maybe that spiritual group will have some suggestions or some
Yes.
connections.
You could totally. I bet you they would have a lot. There's a few of them. The one that I've visited multiple times is called Guru Shasta, Guru Shasta, and he's it's really sweet. It's actually got a vortex right on the on the property. It's pretty cool. You can it's a nice place. It's a good place.
Yeah.
So, any of us that have young or children or grandchildren, there's a wonderful series of books called Chakra Friends. And one of them, they visit Mount Shasta and go and visit Telos and the Ascended Masters in Telos, and it's framed for children. I haven't gotten the entire series, but I think I've gotten like 5 of the 7 books for my son, and he loves it. And it's a cool way to introduce spirituality and these ideologies into their lives without like pushing it on them or being too heavy. And it was Mount Shasta, so it just tied into like all this awesomeness.
It's interesting. You told us to when you were guiding the meditation, you were talking about if we go to a high place in our area and hopefully a mountain. Well, I live in a mountain range, so the highest place in my area is Mount Bachelor, which is part of the Cascade Range, which Mount Shasta is part of the Cascade Range. So kind of set an anchor there today.
Awesome.
It would
So
be super.
Planted that purple at the top of Mount Bachelor.
Yeah.
Radiated it all the way up and down the Cascade Range.
Yeah, there's the
Thanks.
synchronicity.
mhm.
My happy place I went to was, you can't even really see it right here. I actually
A
have
little bit
pictures of it.
bluff.
This is the Seven Sisters. That's Seven Sisters. That's one of Ron's places. It's rock formations. It's the cliff, the buttes that Fort Robinson, Nebraska, where I kind of was raised by over there. Like where Chief Crazy Horse was killed, the Cheyenne outbreak, things like that. So that would have been right where the Indians would have came up into the Cheyenne outbreak. So it's right next to the Seven Sisters. They're literally called Seven Sisters. So that's where I went to anchor in. And we'll be doing a lot this week since we're in the 12/21 or 12/12, 12/21 corridor of the
Yes.
solstice right now,
Till the solstice, and then it's gonna
Mhm.
get even more interesting.
Interesting,
Exciting.
Shelley. Interesting, Shelley, where I'm at is the Three Sisters. So it's interesting, the 7 and the 3, both sacred numbers.
Mhm.
Yes, love it.
So I'm going to share real quick too. I forgot part of the focus intention part that I missed because we did the guided part is we usually share a picture for all of us to kind of focus on. But since it's shifted to like Arlo and different things, the picture was more about the guided part. But I do want to share it because I think it's pretty powerful. So let me get this. Need to do and feel like it really personifies what I was trying to get across here. So up on the top of the mountain, grounded, our chakras are lined up, we're emanating or radiating. I envision in the radiation of coming from our bodies, but I didn't even notice. But at the very top, oh, is that like an infinity symbol up in there?
It
It
is.
does
There's
look like one,
two.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did not
That's
even notice
super
that until
cool.
just now. Wow, that was cool.
Can you share that in our group?
I definitely will share that. I think I'm going to make it the cover of the video for the replay because it's awesome.
Nice.
Ah,
Do you have a
I love
group?
that.
I don't know what that group is. Could you show me, or is it like
you
a
will be added to the
messenger?
group chat. It's a messenger group chat, so I'm going to add you and
Yeah.
Ron. I think you are the only Tina. Did I add you last time you joined? Okay, so Tina, you're in that. Uh, and Maggie, you are in that, or is it the other? Okay, I thought
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought I got both of you guys in there, but now I get
Yeah.
confused with the two Maggies.
Does anybody want to be added to the field Facebook group that we mentioned? I'm not
There's
sure.
also that. I think I
Yeah,
sent some invites out to people.
Did you?
I would.
I will make
Are
sure
you?
that everybody.
Yeah, I
I,
was gonna
I
say
did
I'm
a
not Facebook
screenshot,
friends
or
with
I
Chris.
did a kind of a cropping of who joined to make sure everybody's in the group chat, and then I can make sure they're in the field as well.
I think we're in a couple of groups together. Bryce, I've seen you in a couple of other groups that I'm in.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not I'm not sure which one the field is. I don't know about that one.
It is an upstart. It is a spark
Okay.
point, we'll call it,
Yep.
for the new Earth and bringing that into reality.
New Earth, like as in gritting and healing Mother Earth, that kind of thing?
Yes, and helping with the ascension of Gaia and you bringing unified and collective consciousness and uh, allowing people to be able to express their greatest joys and happiness and well, what was our we haven't decided on our mission statement yet, but we're working on a mission statement.
We're working on it.
We're getting there.
Okay, yeah, send me an invite. I'll definitely support you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I love that there are 8 of us here, and you said this is the 8th time we've joined together. I love that.
8 infinity.
Yep, and infinity. Yep, and the power of 8 was where we based it off of. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's burst
Wow.
from. It's once again, that's one of those moments where things start to start connecting and interweaving
I
within
think
each other.
Yeah, and one of the
Maggie, really quick. Maggie, your cat picture in the background, that's
Yeah.
really very intriguing to me. Can
It
I
was
ask you,
yeah.
please?
It was painted by a very good friend of mine, or actually one of my very good friend's mothers. Yeah, Carolyn Washburn. Thank you.
I like it too.
That very much speaks to me.
This is that painting is also by her. The same artist.
Nice.
Thanks.
Very cool. I'm drawn to it for sure. Thank you.
Thanks.
And Ron, didn't you just send me a friend request earlier today, I think?
I did.
Okay,
I was
I
pretty
did accept
excited.
that. Yeah, I
Thank
accepted.
you.
So I think I have all of you on my friends list, so I can add everybody into the field too, and make
Very
sure you guys
cool.
are in the group chat.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I was
Thank
going to
you.
say in reference to Maggie's comment on the chat that we had on the vision team today, the group chat, Nagendra brought up as a potential number to be used in our visioning statement, 8 to the power of 8, which is what we have right here, 8 to the power of 8.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's synchronicity.
Yeah.
Tying it all together.
There's another thing about
Nice.
another thing about the number 8 in the sacred languages. In the Hebrew, the eighth letter represents new beginnings,
Oh,
and
very cool.
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and in numerology, 8 is the ending of a cycle, and so the starting of a new. We're ending, which is kind of the theme around the world. If you guys are paying attention, that cycle is definitely ending. I I see it more and more every day. That cycle is ending, and if you don't see it,
That
start
the
looking
letter
around.
that letter he's talking about is in it het, or it's het.
Het.
Yeah, it's the
Yes,
life.
yes, yes. Several of the words in Hebrew that are related to life is that letter. It's het. It's the one where it sounds like you're like, you know. But then, hey, that's an easy way to remember it. A really awkward sound, and but the many of the letters like chaya and these different ones that, uh, gosh, I'm going to send it in our new groups. I'm going to show you some cool stuff with that. That's all I'll say right now.
Awesome.
What that sound reminds me of, that real throaty sound, like breath, which relates to
Right.
life. Like that's the essence of life.
That is a
How
good way
about
to see
this?
it.
How about this? Did you ever feel in a certain situation, you're just like, I just feel like all, and then you clear your throat, right? It's like, well, I'm telling you for real, that'll open up your throat chakra with the Hebrew letter pei is related to your personal power and your expression, which is your voice. And so the clearing the throat thing, it's always been funny, but it really functions to literally clear your throat chakra and help you kind of straighten your energy out.
Definitely. Thanks for sharing that. I'm loving I mean, the conversation in this session has been absolutely incredible, and that's a testament to the energies that are within this group. Every one of you have been absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing, as I like to say, a little play on words. Uh, Thank you all again
Hmm.
for your energy and for your participation.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, once again, I'm just the one that got to host the Zoom. I don't know. I guess Saint
Thanks
Germain
for
and
throwing thanks for throwing this party.
yeah, I guess Saint Germain and Quan Yin both did come with to me to share this, but it wasn't like this is for you, Brian. It is like nope, share this to everybody. Keep using your voice, and I get daily card pulls. I get everything. You need to step into your voice. Brian, it's time to step in. Not Brian. I almost think it should say that because I feel like they're talking directly to me half the time, but it's like use your voice. Open up that throat chakra, step into your leadership. You're here to guide, you're here to do something. And it's like, okay, okay, okay. And then it keeps coming and you kind of have to start listening to it at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once again, it's just to show everybody else how to achieve these levels because we all are capable of it. So, and that is my goal is to show everybody how to experience this joy and continually on a sustainable level experience this joy because since I've been doing this, I'm even I'm going to just share this real story is I'm on my way home today, getting here and I got out of work a little bit late, so I'm a little pressed. I'm trying to get home. I want to make sure I get home in time. So I'm just trying to barrel up the freeway. We have what's called the grade where I live, and it's this huge steep hill that I have to come up, and I'm driving up. So I shoot over, and it's 3 lanes. I shoot over into the slow lane because I'm going to try and pass some people that are going too slow because the car right in front of me was going super slow. And that car then decided to cut over into the middle lane to cut me off from getting back into the middle lane to get him. And in the past, I would have been so frustrated. I'm like, you fucking jackass, what the hell's wrong with you? And yell, and I just started laughing. I just started laughing uncontrollably again. I was just like, oh, I was like, okay, well, whatever. I don't need to be in a rush. What am I rushing for? And it just reframed all my mind has just been totally reframed and all things that used to irk me. Just I've said it in a couple past ones, water off the duck's back. It just does not even register anymore. And I I want to keep growing it. I want to keep sharing this, and I want everyone to be able to experience this. And the fact that I have a couple new faces today shows that it's growing and it's working. So
Yeah,
awesome.
I had a pretty great start to my day yesterday, or this morning. I mean, yesterday I watched a pretty powerful Eckhart Tolle video and got the brain going, the mind, and I'm like, okay. And then I this morning, like, been doing a lot of undefining of things and staying out of stories. And something that Eckhart had said yesterday is a spiritual practice story that was within his teaching. There was this guy that had been studying under like a spiritual teacher for 5 years, and he felt like he just really wasn't getting it. And finally, he went to the teacher and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to take a year off and just travel and try to incorporate some type of spiritual practice so that I can maybe try to get this, reach enlightenment." And the teacher's like, "Okay, well, before you go, let me tell you, try this for your 1 year travel." He says, "Everywhere you go and everything, and no matter what the circumstances are, say, thank you. I have no complaints." And so he did that for a solid year. And then he came back to this teacher and he's like, "Hey, I did what you said and I still am not enlightened. I told that to everybody. Why did you tell me to do that?" And the teacher responded, "Thank you. I have no complaints." And then the man finally got it. And that right then, like, understood, like, just being grateful for life and really embodying that rather than um, just making the words. And So then that was my practice today. And man, like it really does give you a different perspective. So that was my cool moment for today.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, Kim, because the gratitude moment is everything for me. Um, it's like, what more of an extension cord do you want to plug in is when your heart is thankful, right? Totally, completely awesome. That's awesome.
I love it. Rod is absolutely
Always.
true. He says that to me all the time. Well, not all the time. I see no wrong. You could do no wrong. And I love that because he has that attitude about a lot of things, you know. So it helps to hear that, you know, being
Yeah.
grateful.
Attitude is all, it's everything. You know, our emotions, when we learn to master our emotions, we learn to master ourselves and we become the most powerful being that we can become. It's
Gratitude's
incredible.
the attitude.
Yes, ma'am. You said it. You said it.
Would it be all right to share something real quick about this little background painting thing?
Of course.
Okay, check. Okay, yo, 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 check this out. All right, I'm gonna shut off the lights in the garage out here. Okay, boom. All right, no more seeing me. Oh crap. Uh Earlier you couldn't see me. There you go. Okay, this is what's beautiful about this painting. Um Shelly and I, well, we get our creative zone going once in a while. And this is maybe, I don't know, recently enough, but not that far back. And here's what this painting is. To me, it just represents that thing in the center is kind of like the beginning of all that's new. Um, how the heck are we going to do it? And that's the orange. The orange is kind of like the sacral where we create. And then I had a feeling there's something about how it works with your crown chakra. So there's a bunch of purple surrounding it. And I've just been resonating with this painting. Like, I don't know why I painted it, but the more people that Shelly and I connect with and resonate with and whatever, it just keeps being the same beautiful theme. And I'm like, I don't have to know everything about New Earth and I don't have to know everything, but I am in love with the journey and insatiable hunger for the mysteries. And so that's what the painting really is. It's kind of like the painting is kind of like, here we go, you guys. And that's just being created. And clearly the purple thing is very much hugely part of this. So it's just crazy how the painting came to me. And then here we are. A few weeks later, it's like, oh, hi, Brian. Cool. Hi, all you guys. And that just makes me happy. That's all I'm saying.
That's awesome. And I love how you keep referring to that crown chakra. And, you know, we know those are those chakras is our pineal or our third eye chakra and our crown chakra, both associated with higher consciousness, both also have the color purple associated to them, which is when this purple energy was first introduced to me, you know, was beyond the violet flame. It explained it. Oh, it's the color of higher consciousness. It's the color of love and unity. It's color of unity because in the world, and not just in the States or the United States, in the world, you have the polarities. You have the blue and the red. Those are always the sides. They're always it's, oh, you're taking the blue side or you lean red. But when you combine those two together, what do you get? You get purple. So when you combine two polarities, you get unity and you get purple. And that's how it was broken down to me when it was first introduced. And I just fell in love with that. And now it just keeps coming back and reinforcing it every time I talk about it with somebody.
Is purple your favorite color now?
It's growing to that be. I don't know if you guys, you probably saw the Facebook post. I don't know if it shows up on the camera here. It probably doesn't. Maybe if I bring light.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
shows up really good on my Facebook page, my posts right now. But I did my hair purple because I'm like, it's it. I'm just jumping head first. I don't care if people think I'm crazy because you know what? If this is crazy, I don't want to be sane because I've never been so happy and felt so good in my life. And I think on that note, this was a wildly long session. That was just awesome. I knew it was going to be powerful, but this was definitely an incredible session. So, thank you all. With that, we usually do a little bit
Brian,
of,
can I say one more
yes,
thing before you cut us off?
definitely.
I just want to remind anybody that wants one of these little purple amethyst angels. Um, I've got about 20 of them. So if you want one, they're not very big. They're maybe, I don't know, an inch and a half tall. Just message me with your name and your address, and I'll send you one for free. I picked up about 20 of them just to let people have them and set them somewhere to remind people of the not just the healing energy, not just the healing purple energy for Arlo, but for all of us. And so if you want one, just message me and I'll get one off to you. I just gotta figure out how to send them. I gotta go get some little padded envelopes or something. But anyway, they're made out of amethyst and they're just little bitty purple angels. So just want to make that offer again available.
That's so sweet. Thank you, Devora. That's really sweet.
Very sweet, very kind.
That
Yep.
is
Want us to
amazing.
just message you on Facebook for private
That
messenger?
Yeah, just message me. I'm in the group, so you should be able to just pick my name and message me directly, I would think, and and just send me your name and your mailing address, and then I will get those off to you.
Thank you for exemplifying this purple energy perfectly and love and that unity. That is awesome. That is so kind and compassionate of you, Devora. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate all of you, and I can't tell you how much my whole family appreciates just all of the healing energy that you're holding for Arlo. It's going to be so exciting to be on the other side of this when he's healed and dancing and just joyful and changing the world because this child is going to change the world.
I feel that.
I
I
feel
feel
it with
that
everything in me. Yeah.
he has a bigger purpose and he is definitely not done here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he is not done.
Beautiful.
Wunderbar. So, with that, homework is play with the power or that infinite purple spark. Play with it, walking down the street, breathe, check in, make sure it's still there. It's going to be there. I promise you it's going to be there. It's not going anywhere. It's infinite, right? So just play with it. And then if you can, or not when you can, let's once again, we do these 8-minute sessions because anybody can spare 8 minutes out of their day. Take 8 minutes to send healing, playful energy to Arlo. 8 minutes every day. Sit and just think of playful, something you playing, you guys playing board games, you guys playing, going swimming, whatever it is, just whatever brings you joy. Share that joy with Arlo and share that energy with Arlo. And that is what we can hope for the next week. Look forward to hearing about all the experiences through the chat and through our connections. And thank you all again, and thank everybody that's watching the replay because we all know time is the illusion, and whenever we are participating, we are all contributing. So thank you all
Yes,
again.
we are. Yeah.
And
Thank you. Good night.
Well,
Good night.
Good
well,
night,
Thanks,
Thank
Brian.
you.
take
Amy.
care.
Okay, good night. So when do you meet again? When do you
Next
meet again?
Wednesday, every we won't probably meet
During
next
Christmas.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop.